And we are live, guys. Episode number 2 on our Real Estate Talk Roundup, where we're going to share some of the incredible news of what's going on in the crazy world of real estate in New York City and New York State. And you know what? We actually, Trisha, we're discussing stuff besides New York as well, right? It's not just New York City or New York State.
Yes, anything real estate related, we're on it.
Anything goes. Anything goes. So, how was your week? Whatever.
My
How do you like this look like the close up? It's pretty
no.
good. No, not the close up.
Let's
Okay,
back it up a little,
let's back
yeah.
it up a bit.
My God, I can hear you gulping that.
Oh my god, I'm thirsty.
The mic was like right on your throat.
I am thirsty, guys. So I got some news over here. No. Oh my god. Don't tell me that.
You lost your article.
Oh yes, I did. All right. Anyways, you can go first then. How about that?
Let me present. So last time we did talk about some out of New York real estate news. So I figured, why not bring it back to New York
Mm-hmm.
this time? And, this article actually stood out to me the most. New York City housing market prices, trends, and forecasts for 2024. Like everybody has predictions on what they think is going to happen in 2024. I mean,
What do you guys think is gonna happen in 2024? Like, put in the comments below. Is the market gonna freaking crash finally? I feel like everybody's been waiting for the market to crash, right? Is the market gonna crash finally, or is it gonna keep on going? I want to know. I want to know myself.
if the market crashes, what are your plans?
Yeah, where are you gonna go? Are you gonna move to Canada like me, or
And if the market doesn't crash, what are your plans?
exactly?
So let's get right into it then. So, New York City housing market update and forecast. Now, obviously, everybody has their opinions, but they do try to throw in some facts here. So, this is going to talk about the latest trends, and this is New York City based, so New York City real estate market, but it says as well as the statewide market. So let's see. They're talking about inventory of homes hitting a record low, signaling a 2.7% decline compared to the previous year.
Hmm.
So we're kind of definitely seeing that here in New York in general. I mean, do you agree with that, John? Do you feel like inventory is low?
Yeah, I mean, there's less homes for sure, right? But again, I think area by area differs a little, right? We still see homes going way over the asking price in some neighborhoods, and other neighborhoods, if it's not priced right, you see homes staying on the market, 3 6 months, which is kind of normal, right? Like you want to really work with someone who knows the pricing and price it to sell, don't
Hmm.
price it to sit. But it's gonna be interesting also now with the rates going down, right? And spring coming up. I know we have the election coming up as well, so that's gonna definitely throw a curveball, right? Uh, is it gonna make people to finally put homes on the markets because there might be some opportunities for them? It's
Yeah.
hard to tell, it's hard to tell, but I think we'll see a similar market like we've seen last year. That's my personal opinion. I think the agents which are really like rolling up their sleeves and they actually working. Yes, they're actually working these days, like doing their things. Those are the ones I think they're gonna take market share. I think there is a big opportunity for buyers and investors now to take market share. talking upstate, because I do invest a lot in upstate. The market slowed down a lot over there, a lot over there. So I think the secondary markets or the third markets, they definitely slowing down a lot, and you see some price adjustments over there. But at the same time, those are the markets I feel they have the biggest opportunity, right? Like you want to buy when nobody's buying, right? Like you don't want to buy when everybody's buying, the price they crazy. Like, guys, aren't you been waiting, everyone, for this moment, for the market to slow down, for the rates to come down, for the prices to come down? Well, we are here. The moment is now. So I think it's gonna boil down. Hey, if it makes sense for you, like, do you have some changes in your life, right? Like, did you get married? You need more space. Did you have kids? Maybe you need the extra bedroom, right? Did you change jobs? Maybe you finally got a job out of college, right? You're trying to move out of the parents. Like, there's a certain, life circumstances which people got to move on, right? People have to buy something or sell something, and if it makes sense financially, meaning it's still affordable, where you can afford the monthly payments for the mortgage, taxes, and insurance and utilities. Don't forget about the utilities, right? You're gonna have to pay utilities, all the utilities, so water, heat, electric, all of that. If you own the house, if it's still within your budget, what are you waiting for? If it makes sense.
Yeah, and when you look at New York as a whole, because you're talking about one particular market, as a whole, even this article is stating that, contrary to expectations, home prices in New York have not experienced a drop. So when you look at New York as a whole, if anything, they're saying that median sales prices has risen for the fourth consecutive month in a year-over-year comparison. So that says a lot. And they're saying that it's a 2.6% increase. And then they give some, median numbers, 360,000 to about 370,000 from, November 2022 to November
Mhm.
2023. So it's sustained an upward trend in prices, suggesting a resilient market. So, right now they're stating that we're in a very strong market. So I would not predict any type of um, like fall or anything like that happening in
No
the
crash, no crashes.
no crashes. No, no, no. And here it's saying that, the New York real estate market experienced significant shifts in inventory, as we know, sales prices, as we just discussed, and interest rates just in November. So it's talking about the record low inventory. Um, they're saying a substantial 2.7% decline compared to, so they're saying here, in November, the inventory of homes for sale reached an unprecedented low of 27,779 units, indicating a substantial 20.7% decline compared to the 35,029 homes available in November of 2022. And it's saying that this low inventory is really a challenge for buyers and is really reflecting the nature of the current real estate market that we're in. They talk here about the median sales price again, fluctuating interest rates, right? So we know that interest rates have come down a bit from where they were a couple of months ago. So it's saying interest rates uh, demonstrate a month over month drop, according to Freddie Mac, on a 30-year fixed mortgage, decreased from 7.62% in October, that's where interest rates were hovering around, to 7.44% in November. So it came down a little bit the next month. And they're comparing it to the previous year, which was around 6.81%. But we were seeing around 6.81% just a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
I think they went up a little bit, the rates actually, within the past couple days.
And I was actually really surprised.
Yeah. They're saying that there's a decline in closed sales, which makes sense because we have low inventory. So, of course, closed sales are going to be low as well. Um, but there is good news. There are positive indicators in pending sales. So it says this upward trend in pending sales may suggest potential future market activity, providing optimism for real estate professionals and the industry stakeholders. So that's actually good news. New listings, they saw a decline in November, falling from 1.5% from 9,359 listings November of 2022 to 9,220 listings last month. That doesn't seem like too much of a difference to me, quite honest.
Yeah, it's a small. I mean, only 1.5%, right? What is it? 139 listings less.
Yeah,
Mm.
which is really not a lot when you're looking at it as a whole. And then, like, the most popular question is now a good time to buy. And we always say, and it's like the first sentence here, the decision of whether now is a good time to buy always depends on various factors. Those various factors are literally your goals,
Mhm.
your situation. That's when you can make that decision on when it's a good time to buy or not. It's completely up to you.
And I think you so right on, right? Like at the same time, the same house, right? It might be a great time to buy for someone and like the worst time to buy for somebody else. And I think that's really depending on each person individually, what they're really going through, where they are in life. Long term wise, like the rent's gonna go up, so you're always gonna spend more money than if you own some. And if you're owning a place, you can write it off. If you go for mortgage, the interest rate, it's 100% tax deductible. That means you're gonna get your money back from the IRS. Yes, it's time to get some money back from Uncle Sam, right? The taxes you can deduct, the insurance you can deduct, the maintenance you can deduct. I mean, you can deduct a lot of stuff while the property is appreciating as well. And when you're renting, you can deduct anything, right? You're just paying the rent, and that's it. That's it.
And I'm glad that you mentioned rent because that's the next topic that we're going to speak about. Rents. So this past November, it's stating that it was the slowest year over year rent growth in New York City since August of 2021. So I'm not surprised by that news because everyone started to realize, like, why am I going to pay rent that's the same as a mortgage payment?
It doesn't make sense. I mean, a lot of the younger generation, they love to travel a lot, right? Especially the younger ones, they're lacking a commitment in terms of like they don't want to commit to just one destination. They kind of all over the place, right? So in that sense, maybe renting might be better option, but you can put your money where into investments, right? Like why not buying investment properties and have them pay for the rent while you're building equity and getting all the depreciations and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And like this next um trend that we're going to talk
Mhm.
about on rent, it says that Manhattan actually leads the five boroughs in inventory growth with
That's interesting.
10.2% more rentals on the market compared to a year ago. So more people are renting in Manhattan, and we all know Manhattan is not cheap. Um, but it's saying that the median asking rent declines 1.1% to $4,150 in November, showing a slowdown from the rapid growth seen in November 2022. So if I'm understanding this correctly, John, correct me if I'm wrong, Manhattan leads in inventory growth on the rentals, but the rent declined a bit just recently.
Yeah, and that makes sense, right? Because what does this tell us? That actually less people are renting in Manhattan, and that's creating that inventory, those vacant apartments. And when you have a lot of competition, you have to drop the prices down to get those units rented. And of course, Manhattan, not only the rents are expensive, the prices are really expensive as well. So
Yes.
the landlords, they have big ass mortgages which they have to pay, and they need to fill those units, so they're dropping the rents, which I always gonna say it's a good news, because I would love to live in Manhattan one day, like renting a
Nice city,
condo right
skyline.
by the Central Park South, right? So I can't wait for the prices to come even down, even more.
Let's see what happens. I mean, now compared to, I think you're going to find this interesting. Brooklyn experienced a 3.1% slip in median asking rents, while Queens, shout out Bayside, stood out with 11.5% year over year rent growth, making it an attractive option for those seeking more affordable rentals. More people are coming to Queens to rent.
Let's go, Queens!
So that's really interesting. It's showing where people would rather be, and I feel like Queens is such a it's not central to a lot of people, but I feel like it's central to
No, I
everything.
think I think it's very central. I think Queens, you get to Manhattan in like 5-10 minutes. You can go to Bronx, you can go to Brooklyn. You got all the highways, and you got all the stores and shops and jobs. Really important, right? It's like now the corporations, they open up shops in Queens, so people don't have to go to Manhattan. So that also, it saves them a lot of time on the commute as well.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
Queens is great because you also have different options for people. We not only have co-ops and condos, we got single families, so you can have a nice house with a big yard or a small yard, right? We have small homes or big homes. We have multi-families, right? Anything from 2 units to 200 units. I mean, you name it, we got it in Queens. So I think because it's a lot more diverse when it comes to those options, it's just attractive for people. You can get an apartment on the south side, for 1,500, or you can get an apartment for 5,000. So
Yep.
make your pick in Queens.
I love it. And to stir the pot a little bit, I want to hear from our viewers. Is Queens Long Island? Because I know there's always been a controversy with that. What do you guys think? Is Queens just an extension of Long Island? Let me know. Or is Queens its own borough? Um, so this is actually, this next part is really interesting. And again, these are just predictions. These are nothing that is set in stone. Anything can change at any given moment. But top 10 areas in New York where home prices are predicted to drop in 2024. I'm really interested to see what these areas are going to be because
And before we do you guys like believe in these gurus predictions, right? Like, if you do, say, like, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, like, just say it, right? Like, I don't believe in those predictions, because honestly, they've been saying the market's gonna crash for the past decade, right? And nothing happened. It's actually the opposite. The prices, they keep on going up. So just let
yes.
us know what you guys think.
Exactly. And this is not saying crash, but it is saying maybe predicted to see a little drop. So let's see. So the first one is New York, New York, New York. This doesn't surprise me, especially after what we just went through. It's not going to be a significant decrease, but they're stating that maybe some slow up. I don't know, John. What do you think about that?
A little slowdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some markets, the markets definitely slow down. So I mean, we've been seeing that for the past 12 to 18 months. So
Hmm.
nothing wrong with the slowdown. I think it's actually good that the market slowed down for a lot of people.
Yes.
It gave both, not just buyers. I think sellers too, right? It just gave people the opportunity to get a little bit more educated, and not just make spontaneous decisions because they feel like they're missing out on something.
Hmm.
But now
Hmm.
they can really process, they can look at the home properly, they can really figure it out, the right area, right? And all of it. So hey, the market's just normalizing. It's not crashing. Those percentage, was it 0.5% or 2.9%? That's those are small, very small drops.
Yes, and we're seeing it. A lot of people are moving out of the city to Long Island,
Hmm.
to Westchester, to New Jersey. People are getting out, moving more towards the suburbs because the metropolitan areas are just getting, way too expensive. So I could definitely see that.
And
Um,
also, Felicia, I think people just get way more for the money in
yes.
terms of, like, you can go upstate, and we do invest a lot in, like, the Hudson area, right? Albany, anywhere around Hudson, because those neighborhoods it's been booming. And you can buy a single family up there for 400-500 on acre lot, 2 acre lot, like a nice house with nice neighbors, right?
Well, maybe not
Nice
always
neighbors,
nice
and
neighbors,
everything's there, like everything is fresh. And it's a big difference. And I think sometimes, when you live in the city your whole life, right, you only know what you know till you know what you didn't know, right? So a lot of those people, I think covid kind of
but yes.
started it. It really opened up the eyes for people that there's different options too. There's different options too as well, and they're loving
Mhm.
it. So I
Yes,
think we're gonna see the trend this year as well.
I agree. I agree. Next on the list, Corning, New York. I don't even know where the heck that is.
Or
Do you?
can we Google it out? Let's put it in Google. Let's see. Well, let's see. Not Corning.
Corning and Elmira, New York. Let's see.
Wow, America's most fun small town.
Oh, it's got to be a small town because
It
I've
is.
never. Corning, New York. And for people not in New York, there's so many different. New York is bigger than
Oh
what you
wow,
think. There's
wow.
actually a Corning museum. Uh, it looks like a very nice museum. Corning Museum of Glass. That's interesting. Things to do. The Rockwell Museum, Corning's Gaffer Districts. Not sure what that is. Um, Actually, what's interesting is that it's called Crystal City.
Hmm.
Um, and I believe that's because of their glass. It says the renovated Crystal City Gallery features iconic objects from the museum's collection of cut and engraved glass. So that's pretty interesting.
Can you guys see the map? I put a city right here on the map, guys.
Yes.
So over here is Corning, very small town, and you got PA over here, and New York on the top.
Maybe a good area to start investing.
Yeah. So I mean, look, that's right by Elmira, actually, right over here.
Yeah, so that's
And
next on the list. So let's take a look at that too.
don't give them all the secrets where they should be investing.
We're here to give all the secrets.
And Rochester is been number one, number two, I think last year in the whole states for the growth. So this
Yes.
whole area, I mean, let's go upstate. Upstate, it's kicking ass
Well,
to
since
the
you're
south.
talking about it, Albany is next on the list.
Oh wow! So you got Cortland, you got
Yep. Ithaca. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Oh, Dennisburg.
Ogdensburg. Ogdensburg. So I like, the funny thing is upstate. It's interesting. You got Warsaw. You got Moscow. It's very different. And New York, it is a very very old state. It's one of the first states. So a lot of these small towns, they're very historic towns, and they have a lot of charm. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of charm. And you have a lot of Germans, a lot of Danes, a lot of Danish people over there. A lot of Polish people, a lot of Russian. You got some Czechs over there as well. So it's a different world. It doesn't even feel like you are in New York. And for sure, in New York, it's beautiful. It is gorgeous.
Yes. We have also on the list Plattsburgh,
Hmm.
Oneonta.
Oneonta, we just what is his name? Jimmy. Jimmy was we just talked about Oneonta today. Yeah.
Yeah, they have I think what is the college that's over there everybody goes to? By Oneonta? Is it
Oni
Oneonta?
Oneonta College. Let's
Maybe.
see. Let me Google it out. SUNY.
Oh,
SUNY
yeah.
Oneonta.
Yep. There's SUNY School. That's a pretty popular school over there.
Ask Uncle Google, right? Uncle Google
Eh,
knows a lot.
we also have Watertown, New York.
Yep. Watertown is great. It's right. That's right above. That's right below the lakes. And Kingston. Is that Kingston the next one?
No, no, no. And before you jump over there, these are areas where home prices are predicted to grow. So we're switching.
Also,
Now they're expected prices to grow in these areas.
I see.
Yes. So the what we just went over, let me just double check before I'm giving wrong information. Yeah, those were the areas that home prices were predicted to come down in
Mm,
2024. Um, these now that we're going to talk about are areas where prices are predicted to grow in 2024. So
hmm.
yes, one of them is Kingston, New York.
Yes, Kingston. I have few investments in Kingston, so super happy about that. And one fun fact: did you guys know that Kingston, it was the first capital of New York?
John's been giving that fun fact to everybody, by the way.
Yes, and by the way, they have another Kingston in Ontario, Canada as well, and there was a capital of Canada as well. Fun fact.
And there's Kingston, Jamaica.
And there's a Kingston, Jamaica as well. We should find out why they naming all or were naming all the cities Kingston.
And I would like to know, which we might have to do on the next one, why they're seeing significant growth in Kingston and not and compared to the other places, why they're seeing the decline because most of these towns are upstate. Like the
But
next one on
can I tell why?
yes.
Because those towns like Oneonta and Plattsburgh and all the other towns, they further upstate. They south of Ontario lakes, basically,
Okay.
and that's way up, right? So if you want to go to Oneonta, you're probably gonna take from New York City probably 4 hours, right? four to
Wow.
five hours to get up there. These towns, Kingston and Hudson, they're all around the Hudson Valley, right? Which is direct with New York City. And Kingston, it takes you hour 20 to get to Kingston, and probably less than 2 hours to get to Hudson. Which Hudson actually it's really really popular, and you got the Amtrak, right? You got the Amtrak going up and down, and those
Mhm.
towns. New York State is investing, which this is a little inside information. You would only know this stuff if you would be in those neighborhoods and like talk to locals and talk to local real estate agents, which I do all the time. They are reinvesting billions and billions of dollars into the infrastructure of these little towns to make it
That's
comfortable for the
huge.
people from the city, because there has a lot of people coming from the city. So that's cool.
That's huge. And you know what might end up happening? More people may start coming to Albany, Hudson, all these areas. And then what's happening? It might even push people up even more
Hmm.
to get that affordability. So that's going to be interesting. I'm definitely interested to see what happens with that. Um, so let's see what's next on the list.
Hmm.
Olean. You ever heard of Olean, New York?
Let me see how do you spell it.
O
Olean.
L E
Olean. Let me check it
Olean.
out what it is. Olean.
By the way, like this is definitely helping John with his like investment
I
studies.
love that. By the way, we didn't practice it before. She picked it up completely unknown. Well, so Olean is actually, wow, that's way up. It's above, it's right below Buffalo. Let me share that right here. So Olean is it's right over here, and if I zoom out, over here's Buffalo, and you get Olean over here. So I think Buffalo is been growing as well. Like price wise, it's been really, really appreciating a lot. And that's great news. I'm super happy for Buffalo because Buffalo's been suffering for many, many years, for decades. I know a lot of people, actually investors in Buffalo, they bought these buildings for like 30, 40,000, and they were like a couple 100,000, right now. So they're doing really, really well. And maybe Olin, it's getting the influx of Buffalo.
Yeah,
Looks like a nice
that's
place.
these are all great, great facts for investment opportunities for sure. Let's see what's next. Jamestown.
Oh yeah, Jamestown. Yep, yep. Let me pull it up for you. Jamestown. Check that out. Check that out. The same area,
In Albany and Buffalo.
close to Buffalo. Yeah, Olin is right here. So you see, they almost like Pearl,
Mm-hmm.
and area it's over here. And you get the highway, the 86 coming through, and Buffalo is right on top over here.
Interesting.
They both on the 86 highway.
That's a big hint. It's a big
What's
hint.
going on? What's going on over there?
Something might be coming.
And look, it looks like a nice town, right? You get the lake over here as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Looks like a super cute town.
Let's see what's next. I mean, this one's not going to surprise you. Syracuse.
Hmm. Which I think, like Syracuse, it's still such a deal. Like you can buy homes and houses for a few bucks, literally, right? And they have big universities, so it's a big city. It's a very big city.
Yep. Syracuse. I think that's another college over there in
They
Syracuse.
have a lot of colleges in Syracuse, actually.
Yeah. Let's see what's next.
Which
Utica.
Utica, it's also a college town.
So we had Ithaca, that was they're expecting price decrease, and Utica, they're expecting it to go up.
Wow. Amsterdam, New York. Yes, that's, I believe, right by Albany.
Yes. I see on the list there's a Chester. Do you think it's Rochester, Westchester, or where do you think which Chester do you think that's experiencing an increase or will
Oh,
be?
oh, that's a Rochester for sure.
Let's see. Rochester, you are correct.
Oh my, yeah, and look, number one, right? Rochester, the biggest growth. Which, I mean, you
Yeah.
can buy a house over there for like $2.50, right? It's still really really affordable. I think, what would be fun too. Maybe we can do it next time. We can even search and show people, houses in those neighborhoods, and really see what they can get for the dollars. Because I'm sure that some of the viewers, which are watching this either live with us or maybe on the replay, they probably looking upstate. A lot of people moving upstate right now. So we
Yes.
do have the connections, guys. We do sell real estate upstate as well. So if you're
Yes.
looking, definitely hit us up.
So, I mean, this article is saying there really is no indication of an imminent crash in New York. But they're basically saying that home prices are probably going to continue to go up. They're projected to go up. Low inventory is one of the reasons. Obviously, we saw there are certain markets that may see a price drop, and like John was saying, these are like smaller towns. Um, Parts of New York may be going up because, like John also mentioned, the infrastructure and things that are coming closer to the city. So all these things definitely have an effect on what the market does. So that's it for me on this article.
Yeah, I love that. My article is already up. Oh, look at that. So I picked something, regarding the rental market. And I know you kind of touch on it a little bit in the city, right? That there's definitely a little bit more inventory. And this talks about this generation has driven New York City vacancy rates to a historic low, right? Which actually that's opposite, right? It's opposite what the other article was talking about it. So let's see what these people got to
See,
say.
but
This
this is
is
a good example of how it can be confusing to people reading these headlines. You don't know what to think about what's going on.
this is from New York Post. So it says this generation has driven the prices. Okay, so while the coronavirus pandemic prompted other generations to flee New York City and stay away, one age group has returned in droves. Of course, the crazy young New Yorkers. Just a few short years after COVID temporarily emptied the five boroughs of many residents, generation Gen Zers have swept in with the force, making the city housing vacancy rate plummet to a record low. Now, fun fact, there were some incredible deals on real estate when COVID hit. I'm like still kicking myself because you could like literally get some steals in the city. It was just incredible, right? You remember when people like, oh my God, this is it. It's over. We all gonna die. Like, give me $1 and take my condo in the Soho.
You could have gotten that apartment that you wanted in
I
Manhattan
should
with a
have.
nice city skyline.
Yes, yes. But I was like one of those people, and I went upstate, and I bought my building upstate instead. So it's all good. I'm gonna wait for the next one. Just a few short after COVID. So, according to recent Business Insider analysis of Census Bureau data, the biggest demographic currently moving to New York City are unmarried Gen Z renters with income of $57,000 a year. That's crazy. How can you survive with
I was
57?
just gonna say that to me it seems very odd. 57,000, that's still not enough to unless they're roommates, have a couple roommates that's helping out with the
And
rent.
I don't think they mean Manhattan. So I think they say New York City. I think they're counting all the five boroughs,
Mm.
right? Because 57,000, that's, good luck with that in New York City, in Manhattan. You can survive. Indeed, nearly half, more than 42% of those who found a place in the Garden Gotham, Gotham. Where's
Gotham.
well, is that in Manhattan? It almost
Yeah,
it's almost
Gotham. Wait, no, Gotham City. Gotham is in the Bronx, I think.
yeah, because that feels like Batman, Gotham City, right?
Let me see. Gotham.
Which by the way, Batman is from Gotham City, and it's really New York City, right? And you're right, it's probably in the Bronx. Let's see, what do you guys think Gotham is? And do you believe in Batman? Is Batman for real? Is Batman
I
like
mean, I
flying around, saving people? What do you guys think?
feel like we should know where it is.
We should. Hey, selling real estate for 20 years, there's still a lot we don't know,
Please.
right?
Yeah, but there's Gotham City, which is also in Delaware.
Okay.
Uh, it's saying that it's found on the coast of New Jersey as well. Um, hmm.
So Batman's from Delaware or New Jersey. Come on, Batman. We have a lot of people, like fleeing us to New Jersey. You shouldn't be the one, Batman. You should stay in the
It's saying
city.
South Jersey. Gotham City is actually in South Jersey, but is that Gotham City it's talking about or Gotham?
It says Gotham. It says Gotham, not Gotham City. So
Well,
Gotham between 21 and 22 belong to Generation Z, closely followed by millennials, 39%. With older generation lagging significantly behind 8.7%, were Gen X, and only 7.4 were the boomers. Wow. So that's a young city. So hey, for those young people, Generation Z and Gen X, Gotham City, that's your spot. Young
so
young
Jersey.
people only. Young people only. So as the youngsters moved in, the available housing stock went down and the rate of empty foreign properties dropped to just 1.4% last year, qualifying 2023 as the year with the worst housing crunch in the Big Apple history.
Yeah, so they are talking about Manhattan because that is the Big Apple.
Yes. Unless the New Jersey, they stole that thing and they call themselves the Big Apple.
And I love how, you mentioned the unmarried,
Hmm.
and here it says Gen Z kids moving to New York are largely single and maybe looking to mingle. There was another article that said single unmarried women were, I think, were 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 majority of, like, compared to men,
Hmm.
single unmarried men buying homes.
Wow. Yeah, women are always more responsible. Come on, gents, time to step it up. So, younger generations certainly constitutes a significant portion of those returning to the city for its social, culture, and convenient appeal. Jason Bourdain, co founder and managing partner at New York City based Hudson Valley Property Group, told the publication, whether working in office or remotely, the appeal of urban living, especially in Manhattan, remains strong. Another shared similarity of those now calling New York the home. In addition to being young, the city's newest residents are also likely to be looking for love. Oh my
Just in
God.
time for Valentine's Day.
Yes, yes. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Of those who have recently moved to New York, more than 67% have been single or unmarried, while just 25% have been married, and comparatively insignificant percentages have been divorced, separated, or widowed, according to the Business Insider. Though they may be making the housing market tougher, maybe all those young free agents can help make local dating market a little less miserable.
Ah,
I
there's
don't know what I
certain
meant by
people.
that.
There's pee in the dating pool. That's what that means.
Oh my gosh.
You've been out of the game, so you don't really know what the heck's going
Yes, yes. I've been happily married to my lovely wife, Sana, for the past 15 years. Happy Valentine's Day. So that was good. I mean, it's interesting, right? That a lot of young people, which I think that's a great news for New York. Honestly, I think the new generation, the younger generation, they're gonna revitalize the market, and
on.
bring it up to speed, with certain rules and regulations, because they form a lot of these rules and regulations around the people living in it. So I think that's going to bring a good positive change, for the city. At the same time, it's going to bring more craziness for the city too, right? I think city it's already crazy enough. Now you got a bunch of single guys and single gals like running around. That's going to be interesting. So I have one more article. I know we got 10 more minutes, and this one it's a little different. This one talks about the inventory and developments. And I always think any development in the city, it's a great news. So Governor Hochul, whatever you say it, I'm sorry, Kathy, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Please forgive me. It says statewide strategy to address New York's housing crisis and build 800,000 new homes.
Wow.
That's a lot of homes. So, Governor McCarthy today announced a statewide strategy to address the New York housing crisis, build 800,000 new homes over the next decade to meet the historic shortage and support New Yorkers and homeowners as part of the 2023 State of the State. The New York Housing Compact comprehensive multi-pronged strategy includes local participation, requirements, and incentives to achieve housing growth in every community so that every part of the state is part in solving this urgent crisis. The plan will also require municipal with MTA rail stations to locally rezone for a high density residential developments. So you see this, that's what I'm talking. So it's not just New York City, it's the whole New York. It's the whole New York. And the Hudson Valley, they've been really investing and pouring money into that neighborhood, into that area, around the Hudson. Let me maybe put it on the map, right? So people can see what are we talking about.
And this is just something that's in the talks. I don't think it's anything in a bill or anything yet, right?
Yeah, but I think a lot of it it's already not this specific, but other ones it's already in the bill because they've been talking about revitalizing New York City for the past decade, and I think they've done a lot of good job. I mean, look at Long Island City, right? Look at Brooklyn, look at downtown Flushing. They redid a lot of those neighborhoods for the better. So let me start the share over here. Can you guys see this? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Hudson. So we got Hudson over here. Let me zoom out a little. We got Albany over here, and Hudson River, right, goes all the way from the north, all the way south, all the way to the city. So for transportation, it's great because you can send the boats in and you get the train going up as well.
So they're planning on building a MTA alongside of that.
They have already a train over here. Let me
Mm.
see. Train. So you see they have a Hudson station right over here.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes to Hudson, right? And it's actually a really nice small town. You see the train goes right by the water,
Mm.
goes all the way down. You see, it's a nice ride too.
Didn't even know there was a train on.
Yeah. If you haven't taken the train, guys, it's a nice ride. You should take the train and keep on going down. Right there's another stop over here in Germantown. So Germantown, guys, it's growing as well. Germantown's been on fire. You got Socrates over here. You got Glasgow. You got Lake Catherine over here. You got Catskills on the other side.
Oh, we should take the train to the Catskills.
Yeah, yeah. We're going with the team to the Catskills, right? What is it? Next weekend for team retreat. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. And Kingston is right over here on the bottom. You got Strasbourg. You got Hyde Park. So all these towns around Hudson, they growing like crazy.
Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie, right? Poughkeepsie is right over here as well. You got Newburgh over here. You got New Paltz over here. Yeah, so this whole area going up around Hudson, it is a gold mine, guys. And I think we're gonna see the trend. The trend's gonna continue. So let's go back to the article. Stop screen, share screen. So that's a good news. So this says New York City is currently facing severe once-in-generation housing crisis. More than half of New York renters are rent burdened, meaning that they pay more than 30% of their income. That's like it feels way more than 30%, right? It feels like 50%.
Feels like 80.
Yeah, it's expensive, guys, to live in New York City. 30% since 2015, and home price has driven 50% over the same period of time. So now it makes you think, right? Like if you keep on renting, your rents they've gone up 30%, and if you would bought, the value of the real estate is gonna by 50%. So you probably already made the money and sell it and most likely retire, or maybe went back home and do maybe go upstate and buy some acreage. Rents have risen 40 to 60% since 2015, while home prices have risen 50 to 80%. That's
Ooh,
the rent.
80%.
That's crazy. I mean, and the rents, it's crazy. I mean, the rents they really have gone up in New York City. They really have gone up since COVID. So, statewide housing targets. The New York City Housing Compact will require all city, towns, and villages to achieve new home creation targets on 3-year cycles. Downstate municipals served by the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, where the housing needs most acute, including New York City, will have 3% new homes target over the course of 3 years. For municipalities in upstate counties, the new homes target will be 1% over the years. Under the compact, local will decide how to best meet their new home construction targets from repurposing undertasked offices. That's huge. This is huge. Because if you really look at it, the cost of new construction, right? If you look at the build a house, just 2,000 square feet house, it's just to build it, right? Not counting the land, it's gonna cost you like around 7 to 800,000, right? And you can buy something for like 4 to 500,000. So I think that's gonna just keep on pushing the prices up. So I love this because there's a lot of offices and a lot of warehouses, which the commercial is really struggling these days, right? Like nobody talks about that.
Commercial real estate is struggling.
Yeah.
People now working from home, working remote. So that's really good.
So the new housing campaign will make available 250 million infrastructure fund and 20 million planning fund to support new housing production statewide. That's great. New focus on transit. So they will expand on the MTA. Like, come on, get the rats out of the subways, right? Let's let's start with that.
We need to just put all above ground trains.
Or clean it up. I mean, if you go to Europe, the trains, in Prague we have subway as well, but it just looks different. It's very different experience. Uh, Facilitate housing approval when targets are unmet. Okay, so after 3 years in localities that do not meet the growth targets or do not take steps to implement preferred actions, propose housing developments that meet particular affordability criteria but may not conform to existing zoning may take advantage of fast track housing approval process. If the locality denies the permit, the appeal can be made to the new housing approval board or throughout the courts. Appealed project will approved unless locality can demonstrate availability health or safety for denying the application. This is such a great news for builders and developers, because it sounds like the state it's supporting them and is going to be giving them some fundings, and it's going to make the
Hmm.
process a little bit easier too. I think the process in New York, and especially in the city, it is tedious, and it takes a long time just to get the freaking permits done, right? So it's good that they looking to do something about it to speed it up. That's a great news. Let's go New York. I mean, look at that.
Yes.
So the New York Housing Compact supplements government 25 billion comprehensive housing plan announced in last year's State of the State address to create or preserve 100,000 affordable homes across New York, including 10,000 with support services for vulnerable population. I love that. I love that. Let's go New York. New York gives the most from all the states to vulnerable people. I love it. Good job. Plus the electrification of additional 50,000 homes.
That's great.
New York is growing.
Yes, it is. Thank God.
And we do have a lot of people like running away from New York down to Florida because they can't take the snow anymore. Which, I mean, what we had the snow for like one day, right? They shut down the schools and everything, and it was just one day and it was gone. So it's not it hasn't been bad for the past few years, really, right? But still, even though the people are leaving, we still see a lot of people moving in, and that we need
Hmm.
housing. So I think that's a really positive news for the market, Felicia. What do you guys
I
think?
think so too. I think
So
so.
so we are done.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for everybody who joined. I got to jump because I got another meeting. I'm meeting with a client
Yes.
now.
Yes,
So,
yes. We back to back, guys. We are working still. But it was great to see everyone. If you guys find this helpful, definitely like it, share it, subscribe to our channel. It would mean a lot for us personally to see that there is a positive response. And if there's something else you would like us to cover and to go over, definitely drop it in the comments below. And we will see you on the next one. Peace out.
bye.